Well, out with Carl today, folks, new observer. Looking forward to this. Just had a good briefing in terms of where we're going and what we're going to be looking at. So we'll see how we get on. It's roads are dryish, but there's a sort of a gentle rain falling. You can just probably see it on the screen there. And we're heading out to the racehorse at Catworth. Okay, so reading the road ahead, just dividing the risk between the parked cars and the oncoming traffic. Keeping an eye on Carl's indicators too. Whenever we pass a point where you might potentially you get him to deviate. So I can see the little green glow from the lights from my right hand side, so I'll keep an eye on that. Try and use the information to plan well ahead. Still on green. Lights on green, could change. Go into sheepdog mode, take charge, get well away from these parked cars, just divide the danger between this oncoming car and back out again. Nobody at the pedestrian crossing. Watching out for this car coming out on the left hand side. The lights have been on green for a while, so let's just keep an eye on those. Slow in, fast out. Relax my hands. Right, so I can see cars parked to the right, so I'm going to move out. Give myself plenty of room from them. We'll stay out. There's a parked coach in the inside lane. Try and smooth those gear changes out. Just divide the danger here. And back over to the left. The engine pulling. Pushing and the back brake pulling. Well, it looks like we're going to have to stop, so I'm going to stop a full car's length behind. Going to rest the engine. Watch the traffic from the right. And when that stops, that might be our cue. So I've got the front brake on, I'm in neutral, my right foot's down. Get up into third. Trying to keep 30 feet for 30 miles an hour in town. Back into neutral, front brake on, right foot down. One of the things I'm trying to do today is to avoid target fixation, potholes, gravel. Right, so now I'm following Carl. I think we've jointly made a slight navigational error there. That's BBC Radio Northampton. Watching out for the pedestrians here. Keep my distance, divide the risk. Up to speed. Hospital's on the right, so maybe distracted people around. Junction to the left. Lights on green, I think we're okay to go. Yeah, let's move. So Wollaston's on the right, BMW dealer in Northampton, very kindly lent me their 2018 GS. Okay, so I can see the lights on green coming from my right, so I'll just keep an eye on that. Right, so now then, 68 miles an hour, 68 yards behind the car in front. That's about 3 cricket pitches. So, I think Mr. Policeman's doing 65, it's a 70 zone, so I think we're going to go. Volvo V70, I've got one of those, got 300,000 miles on the clock. It's good that the rain is staying off this morning as well.
When we came off the dual carriageway and went up that rising slip road with the roundabout.
Yeah, with a policeman followed us.
Yeah, we'd just gone past him. Yeah, good.
Well, he was doing 65, so I think he'd make progress, yeah.
He was,
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I thought, is he going to, or is he going to sit here sort of, but you had enough overtake to get past safely.
Yes.
It was legal.
I was within budget.
Yeah, so yeah, I thought, yeah, I like that, that's
yes.
good. And having the balls to overtake a copper on an observed ride as well, I thought, yeah, good stuff. We then went off up the slip road, and as we were going up slip road towards the roundabout, where were you looking? What were you thinking about?
I was thinking about traffic coming from the right.
Okay.
I was aware that you were behind me. I was also aware that the policeman was behind me.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get into that roundabout. My mantra now for roundabouts is slow in, fast out. Yeah. So slow in. So basically on sort of under drive as we're going around there. I know I still tend to be a little bit slow.
Yeah.
I know I could probably pick the speed up a little bit, but that's what I was thinking about.
No, your speed was okay there. What I'm getting at is. And you said the right thing about looking for traffic coming from the right. When could you start to see that?
There's quite a sharp rise there, isn't there? It wasn't quite as straightforward actually as it could be. So to be honest, I can't remember. But I don't think it was immediately obvious from sort of. I can't remember that halfway down I could actually see that it was clear. Maybe you could.
As soon as we were off the dual carriageway onto that ramp, my head was across there.
You were looking at the bridge then?
I was looking at traffic coming onto the bridge,
right.
Or just after it had come onto the bridge.
Yeah.
Because there was a gap there. There was a few sort of scrubby bushes and things around.
Yeah.
But there were sufficient gaps for you to be able to see the traffic flow in that roundabout.
Okay. Yeah.
So that you can't get the whole picture, but you can get part of the picture. And as you get further up and get closer, and your view into the roundabout expands, you're building up.
So I could have read it from further back, is what you're saying.
You're building up a bit at a time.
And I'd have had more information then as I approached the junction. Yes.
So, going back to what we said about riding in town, nice looking ahead, and looking at the parked vehicles and that kind of thing. What I'd like to see now is a bit more swivel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
So when you're approaching things like roundabouts, getting your head round, looking over there, see what's coming, see how much you can see.
Yeah.
When you're coming up to junctions, what's right in front of you? It's a junction. If you see a car go past, is it of any interest? Probably not, because it's already gone. What is of interest is what's coming from the sides.
Sure.
And what's going to get there when you get there.
Yeah.
So start to move your head to the sides a bit more as well.
Okay.
And that will add to the information you're taking in.
Jeff made the same point last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to see more of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Valid point then.
On car's indicator there. I've lost the policeman now. But thankfully I haven't lost my observer yet. Pedestrian lights coming up. Nobody around though. Let's just take position on the left hand side for the right hander. Be aware that they're not pedestrian lights, they're bridge lights. Nice. Okay, so just keep an eye on this junction on the left hand side. Yeah, that's where we're going. Relax those hands. And no speed limit, fast out. Straight into a 30. Sheepdog mode. Try and extend that view. Cyclist up ahead. So I need to time my overtake. Pelican crossing ahead. Car coming out the right. Yep, there he goes. Just drop down a cog. Sheepdog. Take charge. Stay out. Thank you. Happy with that. No indicator. Down the hill in third, just keep an eye on the speed. Just move out a little bit, just get a view. Not too far though. Oh, that's nice. I'll stay out. We'll maintain the view. I find it does actually help. I've been just giving a little commentary there. Don't always get it right, but just helps to verbalise what your intentions are, what you're seeing. So the NSL mirrors, and away we go. Let's get into fourth, shall we? Now we've got a car on the left, and I'm going to sort of put a bit of a mucky road surface as well. Straighten the line now. Road is a bit grotty here, there is mud, so I just need to keep an eye on that. So I think 50ish is a good speed. Crossroads, no. What's the vanishing point? And I think we'll stay out. Lovely piece of road this is. Just yield a little bit to this car, learn a driver as well. And we'll stay in the left tyre track for the right-hander. Just roll off a touch. Ah, we're good. We'll stay out. Again, just a sort of a slightly sharpish right-hander. Yeah. Junction, so let's equalise the danger here. Again, another mucky road surface. Nearly caught me out. Unfortunately I was going slow enough, but that was a mistake, I think. Bit of a tricky junction here. NSL up ahead. So generally trying to use high gears today. Now, drive through the corner. Left hander coming up, move to position right. Blind corner, so we'll take a central position. We've got a right and then a left, and we've got a road narrowing. Just keep well left. Keep well left. Lovely church. We're braking out the way before I get into the corner.
Understanding. What's the most important part of IPSCA?
For me, it's the foundation of the information that you receive from the front or from the back or from anywhere, and then the position then that determines.
Yeah.
That's, to me, that's the foundation.
Information's the important bit,
Is it? Right.
Because how can you do any of the rest without information? What makes an advanced rider?
I would guess it's, for me, the sense I have is it's anticipation.
Yeah.
It's anticipation. It's always that forward planning. It's always that. It's almost like you've read 2 or 3 chapters ahead of the book of everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
So, and because you've read that situation, your planning is so much more relaxed, so much calmer, you know.
Yeah.
So rather than just reacting to things, you're actually responding.
Yes, absolutely right. Again, planning. That was the word I was looking for. And we get that from observation, taking the information and using it to construct a plan.
Yeah.
Some good signs of that, I thought.
Thank you.
I liked the way you were in town, looking ahead through the traffic lights, seeing parked vehicles in lane 1 or the left-hand lane, moving out in good time. Nice observation as well in using your mirrors and the blind spot check before you moved out, picking up a nice gap in the traffic. So that was all good stuff. I really liked it. There were just a couple of times where we were coming up to traffic lights and we had 3 vehicles in the left lane and 1 in the right, and we were going straight on. So we could have considered taking that right-hand lane.
Yeah.
It's not always the correct answer, because you might have a big vehicle there that you think is going to be a slow mover. Yeah. And you think, okay, well those 3 cars are going to get way quicker than the big furniture removal van. But in that particular case, we had 1 car, 3 cars.
Well spotted. That's a bad habit of mine, Carl.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And also, if you've done all the other bits correctly, your observation and your planning, you've assessed it. Yeah. And you thought, that's a safe option and it's more expeditious. Yeah. So why not take it? Use the advantage you've got on a bike. I mean, you do the same in a car in advance.
I would.
As well.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
So why not do it on the bike?
Well, that's the thing. I so often I find myself doing things here that in the car I'd be much more adventurous actually, safely. Yeah. But because I'm on 2 wheels again. Yeah.
Something else I really liked was courtesy to other road users. Somebody pulls in with parked vehicles on their side and leaves you space to go through. Yes, it's your right of way, so that's what they should do, but it's nice to see you thanking them as well. Just a nod of head, a little bit of courtesy, it goes a long way. And not only does it sort of benefit you, but it'll benefit other motorcyclists.
We're ambassadors, aren't we, Carl?
Because they'll do it for other people.
Yeah.
And if they see a motorcyclist behaving well, then it gives a good impression of, hopefully, of the rest of us. So maybe sort of go some way to address some of the prejudices people have against bikes. So really good to see.
Thank you.
When you're approaching traffic lights, red lights, nice low speed control, all nicely done, nice and stable, but is slowing down a couple of 100 meters before a red light necessarily the best idea. What sort of things do you think about?
Well, what I'm thinking about there is taking charge of the traffic behind me. Nobody can go anywhere until those lights go on green, and I don't want to put my feet down. So what I'm trying to do is, so yeah, I'm probably doing it slightly too early, but I'm just trying to work on that base. I don't want to put my feet down.
Right.
So and actually they can't go anywhere anyway. Right. So I'm just really trying to take charge of the situation.
Okay. Why don't you want to put your feet down?
Because I want to, because if once I put my feet down, then a car coming up behind me suddenly is actually possibly going to be a threat. Whereas if I can actually slow down gradually, then I can slow down that following traffic, and it's no longer a threat. And actually, I got a car sitting behind me who's going to be a good barrier. So that's been my thinking.
Okay. Let's put yourself in the position of the car driver who's sitting behind you, and the one behind that, and the one behind that.
Yeah.
And 200-300 metres before a light that's just changed to red, we've slowed down to 5-10 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think they're going to feel?
Yeah, there'll be a level of frustration, won't there? Yes. Yeah. So you're saying it's a balance then?
Yeah. So if they're getting frustrated, what's that doing to the overall safety element?
Well, it's increasing the risk, isn't it?
Yeah, it's reducing the safety, isn't it? Because they're going to get frustrated. So, as you say, you've got to strike a balance. And I would suggest perhaps that, if you've just seen a light change, it's pretty odds on that it's going to be red for a little while.
So I'm going to have to put my foot down
So
anyway.
you're going to have to stop anyway.
Yes.
So why not just ride up to it, nice controlled way, put your foot down. You've got a car behind you. As long as you're happy that car's stopping, you've got your protection behind. Also, in terms of bike control, which is easier, sitting there with a foot down or riding along at low speed?
Yeah, it's foot down, isn't it? It's more stable.
So it's more stable.
As long as I've slowed up the guy behind me.
As long as the traffic behind you slowing down.
Yeah.
It's like everything with advanced riding.
Consider.
It's a lot of consider.
Yes.
And there's no black and white.
Yeah.
There's lots of
Now,
grey.
I disagree there. I think there are black and white. I'll tell you what, I think, as a professional trainer, my observation on the first 6 sessions is, because that statement's been made before, and I want to challenge it, because I think there are absolutes and I think there are variables.
The absolutes,
I don't think everything is grey.
No, the absolutes are what the law says you mustn't do.
Yes.
So that's an absolute.
Yeah.
But there's an awful lot of
grey. I agree with that,
yeah. A lot of shades of grey as well.
Yeah.
And you won't always do the right thing every time. Sometimes you go, yeah, that was all right.
Yes.
But I could have done it slightly better.
But there are some things that you would never do.
Yeah.
And there are some things that you would always do.
Yeah.
Even on top of the law, I would say.
Yeah. So yes, I mean, when I say there's no black and white,
Yeah.
I should have said there's very little black and white.
Yeah, I agree, yes.
There's an awful lot of grey.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's finding that balance in between and choosing the right thing for this.
Well, as you say, it all comes back to the basics of that information. It's almost like you're in Star Trek and you've got your sensors on full.
Yeah.
Because the road surface, cars, traffic behind you that I sometimes aren't picking up what's coming in front of me. There's a whole load of things that can change, aren't there?
Yeah.
It's all got to be fed into the computer program.
Yeah.
As well as staying upright.
Yes. A lot to think about, isn't
there? Tell me about it, yeah.
Okay.
Is it safe-ish, Carl? Is it? I mean, as you're looking at it.
I would say my assessment overall, in 2 words, would be safe and steady.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we're looking now is to try and sort of develop that steady into a bit more sparkle. Just bring in these other elements now, and it's working on the basis you've got. You've got a good basis.
So it's a bit like what my English teacher used to write in my book, 6 out of 10 satisfactory at the moment. Then, so there's room for improvement then to improve into. Yeah.
Well, as you'd expect.
Yes, and absolutely, yeah, no problem.
I think in terms of what we've seen so far of the open road positioning, it's coming along nicely.
Okay.
You're starting to use more of the width of the road, and also I saw you varying your line, moving away from what would have been the optimum line with a good road surface, because road surface is a bit nadgery in places. So making sensible choices on that, and also adjusting your speed when you're out of position. So that's good stuff. I think probably just still gaining confidence at the moment.
Yes.
So you're slowing down sometimes, you're not reading the bends perhaps, and going around them as quickly.
Looking for hedge lines and telegraph poles and things, yes. I suppose for me, I would much rather at the moment be sort of inside that and have a bit of a contingency than actually get it slightly wrong and end up on the wrong side of the road. So, but you're spot on, confidence, yeah. Now this is something that hasn't happened so far, the chance to actually observe, chance to sort of sit behind myself and follow one of the graduates of the IAM programme. So I'm trying to use acceleration sense today, rather than keep it in the brakes. Those elbows down. It's amazing how the bike's handling sort of disappears when I tense up, because I've got my vice-like grip, my elbows coming up. Gotta let the bike do what those German engineers intended it to do. Not too close to the centre line. Let's take a mid position. Not much of a view around the bend. Maintain drive. Watch out for the right hand junction. Car coming right. Sharp left hander up ahead. Looks like the road's disappearing left. Under drive, and out we come. We're going to come into a 30, so I'm not going to accelerate too hard. How about that then? Fourth gear, 33 miles an hour around town. Sure various of you following the channel will give a cheer for that. Not the fact I went 34 though. A little bit too fast for me, that. Ooh, these are testing me. Right, here we are out on a very wet A14 heading westbound. And it's been a very interesting ride actually. Been to the racehorse at Catworth today. I think it's the third observed ride that I've done to that destination, but by a totally different route and in the company of Carl, who turns out we share a bit of a background in aerospace. So had a very interesting day. An awful lot to think about. Give me a lot of input there on cornering technique, particularly on the tighter bends. So a lot of stuff I need to go away and think about really. So there you go, back to the bike, signing off. Hope you enjoy the film. As usual, let the debate begin in the comments. Let us know what you think, and thanks for watching.